What's going on, guys? Just want to do a trade recap, daily recap for today. Today was a pretty crazy day, as you can see right here. If we look at this chart, just straight nuke to the downside. Obviously, there was some sort of catalyst. This wouldn't just happen on any given day. So let's just jump right into it. So coming into market open, we were bullish, right? There is no reason for us to look to be bearish. Like absolutely no reason, right? We have an SMT at these lows with ES from yesterday. And then after we hold this 1 hour bullish fair value gap and this 4 hour bullish fair value gap right here, after we tapped into this one and this one, we wicked out, held that, tapped into, I guess you could call this a 4 hour order block as well. We see a reaction off of that where we are now displacing back into, what you would consider potential all-time highs. And like I always talk about when we're trading at all-time highs, you do not want to try and look to take shorts unless you're given like such crazy displacement to look for shorts. For example, like this. Then you can look for shorts in this price leg, right? You can look for shorts in this price leg. I don't know why that didn't work. In this price leg down in here, right? But until we're seeing like serious displacement, you don't want to try and fight the trend. Remember, trend is your friend in trading, no matter what anybody else tells you. And you've probably heard that before you even started trading. So just stick to that, okay? So hourly, we come down, we inverse this 1 hour gap, we tap this 1 hour bullish fair value gap. And then at this point, market open, I see this is low resistance liquidity, right? Look at all this. Trend line, we have it all here. Like, look at this. This is all low resistance liquidity. I want to see this ran. So now we jump down into a 15-minute chart. So, as you can see, we have engineered highs all over the place, right? We have Asian London highs engineered stacked. Then we have London highs from the day before. Then we have Asia highs from the day before. Right, so I want to see all these draws get hit, and then obviously all-time highs. So I want to see these draws, get hit. I'm watching how we react at, like previous day close, and all these levels after the 1 hour bullish fair value gap. Like this was equal. We bounced at equilibrium of this range as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, equilibrium of that dealing range as well. So I'm just looking for a reason to try and go long at this point and try and catch a continuation from like, where's my path tool? Something like this. Once we, when we get here, this is, I want to take something, something around in here. This is where I would want to take my long, somewhere around here, right? Obviously, this is, a bit exaggerated, but in, simple terms, something like this. So 15-minute, what do we get? We started to see displacement out of it. Let's jump down into the 5. On the 5-minute, right, we are now creating bullish fair value gaps inside of this bearish price leg, which is what we want to see. So let's come into market open. This is 9:10. Let's get into market open. As you can see, we have 2 wicks, right, holding this low of this fair value gap, and we are still holding this bullish fair value gap. And then we get a close above, right? So at this point, this is at 925, and I'm like, okay, I think we're bullish. I just want to see, some sort of like displacement right at open into these highs. That's exactly what I was looking for. So let me just jump down to the 1 minute to show you exactly what I saw in real time. So that was 925, or no, that was 929. Okay. So we wick down and we create this giant wick and then a hammer candle, regardless of what you want to call it, just a huge wick, close bullish, right? And I'm like, okay, that's a really good candle. And then as this candle is printing in real time, I was on a 30-second chart, but I was like, I saw the strength after this, and I entered like right here. I wanted longs, obviously, like I said, into these highs. So this was my trade. Stop was actually a little wider or something like this. And it was on a 30 seconds. Once that 30-second closed, we did pull back a little bit. We were tapping into that fair value gap, but I was already in at this point. Then we tap into the fair value gap. I was like, okay, I want to see this hold. I want to see this hold. Once I see this, and we close back above this bullish fair value gap, right? where is it? Right? I'll show you exactly what I mean by this. Once we close above this fair value gap again, right? We get a close. I added one more. So then I added one right here. Brought my, my entry up to, I brought my entry up a little bit, probably like right here. And then at this point, I moved my stop to underneath here because we shouldn't go lower at that point after we get that reaction in the close above. And then we delivered higher. Wick down into that gap again, and boom. Now, at this point in time on this candle, we took out these lows. I mean, these highs right here, engineered. We took out yesterday's London highs, and then we had yesterday's Asia highs, which we did not take on this candle, but we did eventually take. And I was looking up here. We had an untapped fair value gap right at all-time highs. It was also a balanced price range that never got retested. So I actually marked this out, and I said, if we're going to reject, we can see it here, right? So as you can see, let's drop down to the 1 minute. I was already out of my trade, but it was just like, obviously we could just run all-time highs, and that was probably more than likely than for us to reverse off this, but it was just something to keep an eye out on. And that's exactly what we did. We came up, we tapped right into it, tap into that 1 minute. I don't know if we ever even, okay, yes, so we did tap it. We tapped it, filled it, and everyone at this point is probably like, oh my gosh, we're going to get the highs, and they just reverse, right, back into the range. At this point in time too, well, actually, let me go back a couple of candles. We did have 10 a.m. news. So at this point in time, I saw us just coming back because we tapped into this 15-minute price just doesn't want to. Okay. So at that point in time, we tapped into I think it was a 3 minute. Yeah, we filled this 3 minute, and I wanted to see if we were going to, reverse and go higher, make new all-time highs, or if we were going to, continue lower. 10 a.m. news, nukes us lower. ES ends up taking out the low. We end up putting in SMT at these lows. Right about, not yet. Okay, right there. We put in that SMT at the lows. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Even though there's triple equal lows here, I don't really care about that. We have highs here, and then, obviously we have highs here, and then we have all-time highs. All these highs just, engineered. So I was like, okay. So we get this, dilly-dallying, just ranging, not doing anything. I would have expected us to go and get higher prices. We're just doing nothing. Right? A whole lot of chop. Then Trump talked. He started talking about tariffs. Now, we absolutely nuked. 1 minute, 72 points. Next minute, 45 points. The next candle was 90 points. And then we just absolutely tanked the whole rest of the day. Momentum shorts were good. This right here was pretty good. This short right here was very good. If this is the one. Yeah, okay. So we tapped into this 2 minute here. We tapped into this 3 minute here. And we also had a gap SMT. Whereas ES tapped into its 1 minute fair value gap right here. But NQ did not. And why did I like this fair value gap? Because this was the fair value gap that broke previous day low. We broke it with momentum, right? We wicked it, and then we came back down and closed through it hard with momentum. So at that point, I'm like, okay, if we come back, retest this, and, we don't flip it like pretty quickly, we're going to keep continuing lower. We got the gap SMT. We tapped into the 2-3 minute. We push higher at first, right? Then we get this inverse. This was a super clean trade. I actually did take this on an eval. This was super clean. This is what I mean. This is when it's valid to, take shorts. Because look how much we, absolutely just flushed, right? That is a willingness to want to go lower. So break even right here. And then targeting, I don't remember, because it glitches out when I do this. It might have been down. Okay, it was this low. It was this low right here. These lows is what I was targeting. Okay, pretty good accurate right there. So if we play this out, nukes down, and then boom, gets it right there. This right here was such a clean trade. We had the gap SMT, right? We had the gap SMT. Then we have an inversion that pushes us higher, fails to make a new high. Or actually does. It sweeps out a new high, right? Fails to go even higher. Then we inverse it with displacement. We short down into a clear hourly low, right? Hourly low, 15-minute low, all of that good stuff. And then obviously for the rest of the day, we just absolutely tanked like crazy. And here we are. And market ended up closing down 3.5% today on the NASDAQ, 2.5% on ES. So that was a very eventful day today. I'm kind of mad that I didn't even get to really take shorts on a funded account, but took a nice long. You know, this was clean price action. I liked it. But yeah, pretty eventful day. Tariff talk is back. We had a 90-day pause with China on our tariffs, but you know that had to be resumed. And now Trump said that he's slapping a 100% tariff on China. They are being hostile, and you know he doesn't really want to talk to President Xi. So this is definitely something you want to look out for. Since tariff talk is back, so is the volatility, so is downside. Price action should clean up a bit since we're not just at all-time highs. But yeah, opportunities are going to be there. So make sure you are paying attention. And on strong pullbacks, not financial advice, but if we get very large pullbacks, even lower, like I'm watching like the weekly gap. Did we tap it? Wow, we did. That was crazy. This weekly candle was moved. That was all today too. This was all within today. We moved 1,200 points on NQ. So yeah, basically I'm going to look for buying opportunities for long term. I do like that we held this fair value gap, and we actually held, we didn't hold this small one, but we did wick this, and I really wonder what price is going to do now. I could see us wicking a little lower. Maybe coming down to get these lows. These are very, very smooth down here, before continuing higher and looking for more long-term, opportunities. But hope you guys all had a good trading day today. Hopefully this helped you out. Catch you guys next week. Have a good weekend, and peace out.